Good day, everybody. This is Marius Landman coming to you from Brisbane, Australia. Today is 26 June 2019 and it's 8 o'clock in the morning. For the new members that came on board from all around the world, we welcome you. You're at the right place at the right time. Let's go back and have a look at 17 December 2017. This is where Bitcoin hit a high point of approximately $20,000. Last year in 2018, the market came all the way down here to 15 December 2018. At that point is where we called the low and we said that risk-averse investors can now re-enter the market. The market went upwards. It came all the way down here to this point here of approximately 8 February 2019. And from there onwards, we had really great massive moves. And as of today, overnight, we head into that level there. So I'm going to zoom into that area there, and we're going to look at Bitcoin and see what is happening with Bitcoin. As you can see on the chart now, and I'm just going to zoom out again so that we can see the full picture here, just for the new people that came on board. Here, the bottom year of 15 December 2018, we recommended to our subscribers to get back into the market. And you can see that we went up into AA, it dropped into BB, there, and then right there at that point there we got into CC and then we dropped into DD. And I'm going to zoom in there and show you the ABCD cycle. And I know many of you have seen this before, but there's a lot of new people on board, and let's just quickly show you that, because it's vital that you understand what is happening with Bitcoin and cryptos going forward. There is CC and there is DD. This new ABCD cycle there will begin as soon as Bitcoin starts dropping. You can see that Bitcoin went straight into that box, which is the A box. And from that box there, you will see that Bitcoin is expected to trade a little bit sideways, following more or less this brown or orange pattern. That pattern is going to be the play for Bitcoin. You will see that we could go sideways. There is going to be a drop closer to the 2nd of July. In this box box which is box A, we will drop into this box which is box B. We could go back into box B minus, and once we are there, we see a target of around about 7650, which will also be a very good entry to buy Bitcoin again. Now the Bitcoin chart is actually looking really good, believe it or not. If you look at this 22 MAE there, it's pointing upwards. Now expect that to come down when Bitcoin drops. This MS52 algorithm line points upwards, very good. More important, this Python y-axis is exactly where we want it to be. Now this Python y-axis, if I were to take this line and draw that line sideways, and let me just quickly get that, and we're going to draw that sideways. So if I take that line, we expect that line to form something like this and then go up. So expect that point there to be the low point for Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin is going to go up. Now, important here to note that when Bitcoin starts dropping, is that most to all altcoins are expected to drop as well. Our dates for the high point is between 24 June and 2 July. The reason is, in this blue box, is that we expect Bitcoin to form a top. And here right at that end there is that we're going to see something like a doji candlestick, which will form at that point. And I'll put a doji candlestick in here so you can see what it will look like. At that end point there, Bitcoin is then going to drop. Now let's quickly have a look and see what is happening with Litecoin. Overnight you'll see that Litecoin dropped, and it dropped below this brown line. And that brown line is basically the 22 mathematical algorithm equation. Now, in a sense, that is good news, because that means that we have now got the final drop that I was waiting for. Let's have a look and see here. Can you see here that Litecoin basically dropped below the 22 MAE again and then shot upwards? At this point here, it did it again, and then there it did it again. So at this point here, the next candlestick could be a green candle, and then it will still follow this algorithm pattern that we identified literally weeks ago. So the high point target for Litecoin is still expected to be this pink candlestick. You can see how beautiful it played out here, more or less following that pattern. And you can see here that we now expect a green candle going upwards, another green candle going upwards, and here up till about 1 or 2nd of July is that we expect to get into this box here of 179 to 189. Do not be surprised if Litecoin stabs through 189 and heads up into this target here of between $280 and $300. It's unlikely, but it is possible. Exactly here where it broke out here, look at this point here, it broke out upwards and it touched the top of that line there. If you follow that line upwards there, which is like a channel where where Litecoin is trading in, you'll see that that could be potentially the high point if we have a violent move upwards. But for now, we are expecting our first target between 179 and 189. The same with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin heads into the top around about 2 July, that is going to be the high point for Bitcoin. And let's just go back and have a look at that again. You'll see that Bitcoin is expected to trade sideways. In this sideways move, Litecoin is expected to move upwards and play basically catch up with Bitcoin. So expect some more upside momentum coming for Litecoin. I do expect that Litecoin is going to come back into this box here. And again, guys, have a look at this Python y-axis. That potentially is going to be the low point, round about $99. And that could be a very good entry for Litecoin. Now, do remember, if we head into this point here, the point of around about $280 to $300, which is not impossible, then these boxes basically, the low end actually move upwards. But more on that to come. We've still got about 14 days before we head into a lower point. For now, we want to take profits when we head up into this level here between 179, 189. At that point there, I will provide new updates because we want to take advantage of profits. Ethereum, we are going to follow this pattern here. See this pink line here? That pattern has also been played out beautiful. Ethereum is following that pattern. Now let's zoom in a little bit and we see what is going to happen here. We don't have to fear that because of the fact that Bitcoin is dropping, that all the other cryptos are going to drop too. It's not the case. But let's have a look here. From the bottom, it went upwards from about $230, and we're now standing there today at about $330. It's insane gains. Now, if you take this pattern and you move that pattern directly over there, you can see that Ethereum basically followed this pink pattern upwards. And then right here, this point here, we have a bit of a stab through. We could move this on basically a little bit, another day or two, move that onwards, and then we get to about 29 June as the high point. Regardless of where we are, guys, this pattern is going to play out. And we believe that that high point there could be in the region of $449. It could even go as high as 477. Okay, so let's keep that in mind as the two high points. Our first target is that we want to break this 399. And what is that? That target is this Python y-axis. We want to break that. Now let's go back to Litecoin and have a look at this. Stop the video if you don't understand this. Let's go back to Litecoin and have a look and see where is the Python y-axis. The Python y-axis is this line here. See this line here? There's your Python y-axis. Let's have a look and see what happened with Litecoin at that point. Now, you can see here that at this point here, I expect that Ethereum is going to do something like that as well. Break up, break up, break up, and touch that line there, the Python y-axis. Let's go back to Ethereum and see what is happening here. So in Ethereum here, can you see that there is the Python y-axis, and here is our pink algorithm line. I'm expecting that Ethereum is going to break upwards here, touch that Python y-axis, and perhaps just stab through into a higher level. Anywhere between 394, 449 and 477 is a great exit point, because when Bitcoin starts to drop in the next 2, 3 or 4 days, around about the 2nd, maximum the 2nd of July, all these coins, Ethereum, is going to drop as well. Let's quickly get into Bitcoin Cash. I want to keep this video as short as possible. In this scenario with Bitcoin Cash, you can see that it's forming this channel, this yellow channel line. And the pattern that we said that we expect Bitcoin Cash to play is this pattern here. And you can see how beautiful this pattern is actually playing out. Now, whether we move this pattern on a little bit, it's irrelevant, but let's have a look at that pattern play. That is how we see Bitcoin Cash working out. You can see in this specific pattern, let's put it here, there are two big strong lines here. See that line there and that line there? That's basically in the last 2 days is where we expect a spike. So if you, for example, had Bitcoin and you sold that Bitcoin, it's not a bad idea to put that into something like Bitcoin Cash. And remember, guys, this is training and education, it's not financial advice. So expect another day, maybe just a little bit sideways. But guys, we are basically at that end there where we come to a point where Bitcoin Cash is going to break out upwards at any given day, possibly in the next day or two. And then expect, let's have a look and see where the second is. The second is here on Tuesday. So expect a high point here on Sunday the 30th, possibly on that Monday. And then we are going to see a drop. Everything here on Bitcoin Cash looks beautiful. Let's have a look at OMG. Now, OMG had a very nice big spike upwards overnight, similar to that of what happened with Bitcoin, and it reached that point here, 3.4. If you didn't sell at that point, it's not the end of the world. We still see a spike upwards into this target of 3.8. Let's go and have a look at EOS. EOS is forming this bullish pattern here. Now, you can see in this scenario, we actually had this pattern that we identified, and we were waiting for this little drop here, that drop, to see where that is. And that drop overnight actually happened just there. Now, it could be that this one plays out exactly on the 2nd of July, but we do expect a bit of sideways action here following this pink pattern, and then another move upwards to approximately this level of about $9 or $10. So literally taking that maybe down to about this area of about $10. And if you move that box a little bit down, let's say in this box, we expect EOS to land in that box. Anywhere around about $9 to $10 is where I personally will take profits on EOS. XRP, again, we are following this pink pattern here. That pink pattern is a little bit distorted, but you can see that it came down here, went up there, and we expect a bit of a spike into these levels within the next day or two. I expect, again, guys, have a look at this Python y-axis, is that XRP is going to get into this level here at the Python y-axis, have a bit of resistance, maybe step through, and then come all the way down. I don't see XRP breaking out to high levels right now. It is going to happen, but I look at it here rather year August onwards. But be careful, anything can happen with XRP. I do see big gains with XRP a little bit later. NEO, if we look at NEO, it's basically exhausted our 15 October 2018 high point. At that high point, the chart comes back. At that high point, I basically sold at that point, bought back here on the bottom again. Guys, NEO is something that I am simply going to hold long term. We see a target long term between $800 and $850. You can see here that the Python y-axis here is way ahead, so there's still a lot of room to grow, and the next target here is going to be $36.60. A bit of downwards momentum now, and then at that point it will just start going up again. If you haven't sold NEO, simply just keep it. In our opinion, it's going to go a lot higher. Digibyte, we believe that it could follow this pattern here, this orange pattern, and we see a bit of downside here for Digibyte up till here in August before we then break out, and more on Digibyte to come. It's not a dead coin. Digibyte is going to stun the world like Bitcoin stunned the world. Remember what we said? We said here in the beginning of the year, come June, July, Bitcoin is going to stun the world. Literally what we saw last night, where it broke through into these levels here. I do believe that is the high point, and I don't think that we can go higher. According to our algorithm data, this is only momentum that pushed it up. It's not clear gains. So be careful with Bitcoin at the moment. You don't want to buy the high point in Bitcoin. You should have bought here on the bottom. That's where we recommended that. And we took a profit at about 69% in Bitcoin. There's very little gains to be made in Bitcoin. Let's quickly get into BNB. One of the greatest coins, guys, is BNB. You do want to have this in your portfolio. We believe that it still has got room to go up. It's going to go down and then break out up to 500%. You are going to have these big spikes up and down, like you saw that red candle coming down, but it got stopped and now it's back moving up. Going up from here, that point there, to that point there of about 12th June, we could have a bit of downside here, but overall, BNB looks really good. If you want to park your money long term, expect that you could have downside, but overall, it's going to go up 500%. The last coin I want to go into is IOTA. If you want to hold a coin long term, many people have asked me this. I would say that long term coins are, for example, BNB. You can hold IOTA and you can also hold NEO if you don't want to sell. Now, NEO has still got this high point target to reach, which is almost about $6 at that point. Let's zoom in here and see what is happening with IOTA at this point. It's going to make big gains, and there's a lot of things in the work now to push IOTA upwards. Our first target here is 0.6. So if you want to hold this coin, you can see we've already gone up about 114%, and to that high point there, it actually reached almost about 185%. Now at this level here, expect a bit of sideways movement. We could potentially, for now, short term, reach that target of 0.6. You can either sell at that point or you can simply keep IOTA, and the next target here is this target here of about $1.20. So if you want to hold this long term, it's a good long term hold. Guys, this is it for Bitcoin at the moment. Again, just to reiterate, we see Bitcoin going sideways. There is going to be a drop into this box B minus, and then from there onwards, don't worry about what happens next. Just make sure that you get out on the top. We see a bit of sideways action here. At that point there, we should see a doji candlestick on the daily chart. That will give us a signal that Bitcoin is about to drop, probably here close to about 1-2 July. When Bitcoin drops, all altcoins are going to drop. What is now going to happen is that I believe that Bitcoin is going to go sideways, and Litecoin is going to go up, Ethereum is going to go up, Bitcoin Cash is going to go up, and you're going to see an explosion in altcoins. Good luck. I've also placed all the charts below this video so that you can print them out and have a look at them. We want you to make profits. The other thing also, guys, we hold these webinars every single week. The webinars are around about an hour, hour and a half long. You can come on board and ask questions. If you're not a subscriber yet, go into the members area, make sure that you subscribe and attend every single webinar every week. If you are serious about making money, that is where we disseminate a lot of crucial data. Thank you very much. Have a great day.